everybody. So my delightful red Mighty Max has had a problem. The light switch, I was turning it one day to turn the headlights on right here, and well, for a while it didn't really turn. It didn't click into position. It would just sort of move around freely, so I'd have to sort of hold it to keep the headlights on. Then one day I went to turn it, and normally this outer dial piece is supposed to turn, but the whole thing turned and it snapped. And ever since then, the headlights have stayed on permanently. So every time I stop, I just unhook my negative battery terminal, and that's fine, but it's kind of annoying after a while. So today we're going to replace this whole column assembly. You can't really see it, it's under some plastic shielding, but there's a switch there's a unit that holds both the switches for this side and for the wipers over here. And yeah, we're gonna replace it. All right. So the first thing is we gotta peel off, I already started it, this horn cover. And then my horn also had a problem like 2 years ago. It started honking by itself whenever you went over a bump. And then eventually it just started honking permanently, and it was like 7 p.m. I pulled into somebody's driveway with my horn honking continuously, jumped out, disconnected the battery, and then figured this out. Anyway, so I took out all the horn stuff, so I don't have a horn, but yeah, next we're gonna undo these 3 little screws to pull this plastic shield off, or horn support, I don't know what you want to call it, but give us a little bit more access to the inside of the steering wheel. Get this guy off. And now I think we can pull the whole steering wheel off if we undo this nut, but we'll get there in a second. All right, we're gonna see what happens if I take out these 4 little screws in each corner. I might be able to take out this whole metal chunky bracket thing. Here's a side view. Sorry it's so zoomed in, but I can't get much further back in the car. Anyway, I'm gonna give that a go, and we'll see what that does. So I took those 4 screws out. Didn't really do anything. This guy's still in here, but I forgot that underneath the bottom of the wheel there's a screw under there. You can sort of see it poking out the end of it right there. I think if I take that out and then this little one next to the central nut, then I might be able to get this big metal chunk out. Alright, so I got it out. It's held in by that screw, and then there's 2 spring clips up in here that work like that. So, and this screw is kind of stuck in the steering wheel, but that's its function. Alright, we're gonna get this 17mm nut loose here. Alright, we got that nut off, and now I'm gonna have to pull these steering wheel off these splines, and my guess is it's not just gonna come by hand. We're gonna have to use a puller. Alright, so we got this puller here, and I got 2 M8 by 1.25 bolts here, and we're gonna see if I can get it out with this. Alright, I had to grab a different puller because that one was too big to fit in between these bolts, but it looks like this one's gonna work. So I'm gonna try to tighten her down and pop this steering wheel off. Alright, it didn't really take a whole lot of pressure to get it. It's loose now, but I'm gonna get this wire out of the way and then pull the wheel off. Alright, well, it turns out I didn't have to remove this wire, because this wire is actually connected through this spring tab here. But live and learn. Anyway, steering wheel is off. Now we're gonna remove these 2 clamshell halves, the upper and the lower covers over the steering column, and then we can pull this whole switch assembly out. Alright, so there's a few screws underneath here. It's gonna get weird for a second, but deep up in these holes there is some Phillips screws. I think there's one more back here somewhere. Yeah, right there. So I'll pull those out and then we'll take the steering column cover off. Alright, I already started taking it apart, but there it goes. There's the bottom half, there's the top half, and I did tilt the column down to make it a little easier to get at. So now we should be able to unplug this boy and wherever it plugs in, maybe further down, and put a new one on. There's two screws that hold it on, diagonal opposite. One up there, one where my screwdriver is. Alright, so I loosened this zip tie sort of thing down here that holds the wiring into the column. And then deep up underneath there is where the wiring for the switches actually hooks up. So I'm gonna get that off next. Alright, I got my new part straight from the junkyard. The place where all great parts come from. Oops, that's not my part. That's somebody else's part. There we go. That's more like it. And supposedly this one works, and it's from 1989. My truck's from 93, but they didn't really change the design of these a whole lot. So we're gonna stick it in. Alright, we're gonna do a little test. So previously, when I put the battery terminal back on, the headlight would come on, but I bet you it's not gonna do it now. I got everything plugged back in. What? Can you believe it? I can now park without having to open my hood and disconnect my battery. Life is so good. And we're gonna try to start her up now here. Oh ho! Vroom! 2.4 liters of fury. And we're gonna turn the headlights on. I don't know if you can see. Wow! Everything works. And let's see if my wiper blades work. Oh, they're working. Damn. Damn, boy. That's speed number 1. Speed number 2. Hyper speed. This truck is so primitive and I love it so much. Anyway. Alright. Gonna put everything back together. Alright, not trying to get too detailed here, but on the underside of this switch, there's these 4 holes. I was having a hard time getting this thing to line up. Well, these 2 pointy, spiky things here, those go in the front 2 holes, and then the screws go in the back 2, and then you got to make sure that you get your ignition cylinder lined up, and then you're a happy camper. Can't see it, but yeah. One thing I realized while I was putting this back together, I did tie rod ends on this truck a while ago, and I got it aligned after that. And then a while after that, I realized I need a pitman arm. And the pitman arm I put on was kind of offset. It had a kink to it, and the old one didn't. So after I put the new pitman arm on, the wheels were still aligned correctly, but the steering wheel was off by about 90 degrees. So I'm going to correct that now. I'm just going to get it close, but we'll see. The wheels are pointed just about straight right now, and I'm just going to put the steering wheel back on and see how it is. It's going to definitely be better than it was. I just thought I'd try to capture this moment, as weird as it is. Uh-oh, the camera's in that corner, huh? Well, Alright, everything is back to normal. It's been a delight spending this time with you. Hope you have a great day.